Morning. Thank you so much for being here today. We don't need any props for today's practice, but I do want to make a quick announcement. Tomorrow is the first of the month, so our billing cycle for unlimited membership will be starting over, which means that we'll be changing the passwords for the live classes. So just make sure that you are utilizing the website and our schedule and clicking the join now to get the Zoom link and password, and that'll be good for the month. And then in every single month, we will be changing that password. So just making sure that you are signing up and utilizing the website, at least in the first week of classes. After the first week of classes, you will have access to that class for the month. So other than that, no announcements for today, no props for today. So when you are ready, find your yoga mat and find a nice, comfortable seated position. Allow your spine to get really tall here and allow your shoulders to relax away from the ears, maybe even taking a few shoulder rolls to get there. And when it feels comfortable for you, allowing your eyes to close. And taking a few moments to allow body and mind to match up on the same frequency. If you haven't done so already, allow your breath to become a little bit longer, a little bit fuller, and a little bit deeper. Helping to draw your mind into present moment. And allowing this opportunity of awareness of breath, allow us to release our day or our morning. Letting go of what was and coming to a point of what is. On your next inhale, you'll inhale, bring your shoulders up by the ears, sit up really, really tall. And then as you exhale, let a big drop from the shoulders come out and come out through the mouth. Inhale, lift the shoulders up by the ears, shrug them up, 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 and then big exhale, sigh through the mouth, let them drop. Do that two more times. Inhale, shrug up, lengthen, exhale, release, sigh out. And again, inhale, sigh out. Allow your lips to seal and invite a steady stream of breath in and out of the nose. Let's invite our hands to heart center in prayer. Taking a moment to honor the connection of left and right, honor the connection of the polarities within us, and honor the notion or the knowledge that there are no polarities within us, that everything works together to create you. And take a moment to find your intention for the class. Something to help bring your mind into clarity and into the present. And with that, together we inhale through our nose and we let a gentle sigh out through the mouth. And then when you're ready, release the hands back down to the knees and take a moment here. And begin some gentle circles with the torso around the hips. So this can be a really soft movement to start. And then maybe getting a little bit wigglier as time goes on. So maybe a little bit of movement of the shoulders, a little movement of the belly, and a little movement of the spine. And taking those same movements, but moving in the opposite direction. And again, taking your time to explore what feels best, and maybe it's staying in one specific movement or position, and just letting the body freely move here. Pausing, sitting up tall. Inhale, rolling the shoulders back, looking up. A little seated cat-cow, opening the heart. And exhale, opposite direction, tuck round in, draw chin to chest. Inhale, round the shoulders back, lift the heart up. And exhale, going within. Heart goes back, chin falls to chest. And last time, drawing the shoulders back, lifting the heart up. Looking up. And exhale, going within, tuck round the spine, chin to chest, and you can hang out here for a moment. Round the shoulders back, maybe even walk your hands forward, chin to chest, really round up. And as you inhale, unravel the spine, lift the arms to the sky, lengthen the arms up, interlock your fingers, flip the palms to the ceiling, lean back, biceps with the ears, push the belly of the palms up, maybe the eyes blink open here. And as you exhale, twisting to the right side, so releasing the grip of the hands, bringing the left hand outside, right knee, right hand behind us. Finding a tall spine as you inhale, and a twist as you exhale. As you inhale, draw yourself back to center, reach the arms to the sky, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, same, opposite side. Right hand comes outside, left knee, left hand falls behind us. Tall spine as you inhale, and a twist as you exhale. Inhale, take the arms back up through center, reach to the sky. And as we exhale, forward fold, bring the hands down in front of you and walk your hands out. Bring the forehead down to the mat. Stretch the fingertips forward and hips back. Nice long spine here. Lift your forehead off the mat, look forward, roll onto the knees, uncross your ankles, and come into a neutral tabletop, maybe having to walk your hands back one time. And if you have a blanket that you're sitting on, you can place the blanket underneath your knees or just move it out of the way. That's fine as well. And we'll start with a little wiggle of the hips. So moving the hips side to side. And if you find a spot that feels pretty good, you can hang out in that spot, taking a few breaths there. And pausing in the center. Bring your right knee behind left and squeeze the knees in as much as possible. Fan out your feet. And then sink your hips back for Gomukhasana legs. Walk your hands forward. Forehead comes down. It's okay if your bottom doesn't touch the yoga mat here. Push your pinky toes down into the mat. Squeeze the knees inward and get that stretch in the outer hips. And on the flip side, if your hips do touch the earth, that's great as well. As you inhale, you're going to ripple forward. And as you exhale, switch out the legs. So swing that right leg in front of left. Squeeze the knees towards each other. Fan out your feet, creating space for your hips, and then sink your hips back. And once again, it's okay if the hips don't touch the ground. And we'll walk our hands out, extending the arms. So finding a spinal stretch, but as well as a little bit of hip compression, little hip stretch. Push the tops of the feet down into the mat as you squeeze the knees together. That should create a sensation in those outer hips a little bit deeper here. We breathe. And your next inhalation, rippling your spine forward, and exhale, unravel your legs coming back to your neutral tabletop. Curl your toes under, sit back on your heels. Make sure the little pinky toes are underneath as well, so uncurl those too. They like to kind of get stuck up in there, right? Bring your fingers together, interlock your hands, and roll out your wrists. Bringing some blood flow into the hands and into the forearms. Breathing into the belly of the feet as you roll out the wrists. So taking your time here, even in these small little movements. Staying with your breath work. Release the grip of the hands. Bring your right fingers down towards the wrist as the left hand pushes on the top of the right. So stretching the top of the wrist. And then switching, releasing that right hand, folding left hand down so fingertips come down towards wrists. Right hand grabs the top of the hand and gives it a little push down. Keep breathing into the belly of the feet. If it gets too intense, you're going to lean forward here, take some weight off of the heels. One more breath. And release. Bring your hands back to the earth, neutral tabletop. Uncurl your toes and pat out the top of the feet. Bringing some energy back into those toes. All right. As you inhale, sweep your right arm up to the sky. Take a nice big stretch here. Open your hearts. And then as you exhale, you'll thread the needle. Bring the right arm through, sinking the right ear down to the mat. Extending the left arm forward as you sink your hips back. So stretching the outside of that right arm, a little bit of rotator cuff here, a little bit of deltoid, and breathing. Allow each breath to melt you deeper towards this stretch, a little bit deeper towards the sensation. You'll notice the exhale brings a little bit of softening. And so we want to be into that. We'll slide our left hand back to a push-up position. You'll inhale your right arm up towards the sky. Open the heart, push into the left hand as you reach up through right fingertips. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand back to the earth. Switching it out, left arm reaches up to the sky. Finding these opposing actions, pushing down as you reach up, and then the exhale threads the needle. Left arm comes through, ear sinks down to the mat. Right arm needs to bend to get there, and you can keep it where it is. But I prefer to extend it forward. So as we extend it forward, it gives a little bit more weight into that left arm, and we find a little bit of softening with each breath out. So you can think of it as inhaling, getting really big, feeling everything kind of puff up and expand. And then as you exhale, you're getting really small. Everything is contracting. You're moving deeper into poses. Sliding your right hand back, pushing into the mat. Inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. And exhale, bring the left hand down towards the earth. Walk your hands forward one time. Curl your toes under. Inhale, lift the knees up, and exhale, push back, downward facing dog. And so our first down dog of the day, perhaps. And just taking a moment here with your body, being really patient, bending each knee, seeing how the legs feel today. Maybe pushing the hips back a couple times, seeing how the hips feel, the hamstrings feel. Maybe doing this with bent knees. Maybe even shifting forward to a plank, seeing how the spine feels, and then pushing back to down dog. So just taking a few moments getting acquainted with the posture. And so even though this may be a pose that we do every day or every other day, the pose still has the capability of changing, right? The look of it can change, the feel of it can change. So we honor where our body is by taking our time in this very familiar pose, taking our time to get to know our body today, get to know our mind today. We'll start to create a little bit of stillness in the body. So spread your fingers as wide as you can and notice if you're dumping the weight into the hands and try to push your hands down. So this may draw your shoulders a little bit closer to the ears. That's fine. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. A slight bend in the knees will help tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling, hugging the belly button in towards the spine. Push your heels down to really activate the calf muscles. Take a breath in through the nose. And a sigh through the mouth out. Shifting your gaze forward, little tiptoe the feet forward. Think of yourself as wearing high heels here as you tiptoe forward. And then when you get to the top of the mat, landing flat, knees bend, grab opposite elbows. And I want you to think of heaviness here. Think of weights inside of your elbows. Think of weights inside the crown of the head. And those weights are obviously weighing you down, right? They ground us closer to the earth, but in the opposite, our hips feel a little bit lighter, the back of our legs feel a little bit lighter, so we can channel in a little bit of that floatiness, a little bit of that lightness upward towards the ceiling. So as I mentioned before, while there are polarities within us, there are actually no polarities within us because one cannot exist without the other. So even if you are feeling heavy in the moment, heavy in the arms, heavy in the legs, there is still an aspect of lightness inside the body, inside the mind, and inside your spirit. I try to remember that whenever I'm having really, really hard days, that even in the darkness, even in the heaviness, there is this element of light. Go ahead and release your arms down towards the earth. And nice and slow, we're going to round our spine up to standing. Taking your time here, there's no rush. You've taken this hour out for you. So utilizing that full hour, letting the head stack up over shoulders last. And for a moment, embodying that lightness within. So taking a moment and asking yourself, where do I feel lightest? Where do I feel best in this moment? And the opposite, where do I feel heaviest in the moment? Can you pinpoint these sensations within you? Can you embody these feelings? When you're ready, yogis, we're going to take both arms up and over the head. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, lengthen the left arm up towards the sky, and as you exhale, you'll side bend to your right side, so pulling that left arm through. Now, keep your biceps back with your ears so you keep your chest open, tailbone lengthening down and pushing that left hip out. So taking your time to really move into this stretch. Keep pushing into both feet. And then inhale, bring your arms back up through center. And as you exhale, you're going to switch your grip. So go ahead and grab your right wrist with your left hand. As you inhale, lengthen the right arm up towards the sky. And as you exhale, pull it over to the left side. And same thing here, both biceps with the ears. Lengthen the tailbone down. Legs are nice and strong. You're pushing the right side out as you pull the arm over. So again, working with two opposite actions, pushing and pulling. As you inhale, you'll drift back through center. Exhale, release the grip. This time, interlocking the fingers. Keep the index fingers straight. Lift your index fingers up towards the ceiling as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you'll start to lean back. So the element of push-pull here is that you're sort of pulling your arms behind you and then pushing your hips a little bit forward. Lifting your sternum up towards the sky as you ground down through the feet. So in every which way, right? Up, down, side to side, the body's moving. Good. Stay for an inhale here. And as you exhale, tuck and round in, coming into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Let the crown of the head sink down as you do this. As you inhale, halfway lift, shoulders roll back, flat back, lifting the spine up halfway. And as we exhale, we'll step back to the top of a push-up, high plank pose. And here your shoulders will be over your wrist. You're going to push back through your heels, lift your kneecaps up and engage your quadriceps. Find a little slight tuck of your tailbone down and under and a lowest rib cage knitting down towards the hip bones. Same action as in that down dog. See if you can push into the hands, rounding the shoulders up. Stay nice and stacked here, nice and steady in this plank pose. Stay for another inhale. As you exhale, take your time, lower the body down to the mat. Use your knees to get there if you need to. Uncurling the toes, we'll inhale, lift the chest, cobra pose, Bhujangasana, staying in this posture for just a few moments. Push the tops of the pinky toes, down into the mat. And this will help release any SI joint pain. Shoulders are rolling back, elbows are pulling back. Find that expansion in the heart space. Stay for an inhale. And then as you exhale, release down, releasing one ear to the mat. Release the engagement of the arms and the legs, and just take a few moments here. And bring your hands behind the back, interlock your fingers. Roll the shoulders up by the ears, rotate them down the spine, plugging the scapulas in. Palms are together here. A little bend in the elbows will help bring the palms together. Lift your thumbs off of your tush, and then as you inhale, lift the entire body off the mat for locust pose. Spread all 10 toes here. Push back through the balls of the feet. See if you can keep your gaze down rather than looking forward to help lengthen the neck rather than contract the neck. Try to lift the thighs, the knees, the toes, the entire chest off the mat, strengthening the back body. Squeeze your glutes, holding here, finding 3 more rounds of breath in and out. And on the exhale, slowly descend back to the earth. Release the grip of the hands. Opposite ear comes down to the mat and find a full body release. Bring your hands to a push-up position. Inhale, rising up to a neutral tabletop. And pause here. So you'll notice your neutral tabletop is a little bit longer than normal, and that's exactly what we want, right? So this is kind of like a modified plank pose. As you inhale, you're going to drop your belly, lift your tailbone, gaze up. Lift your tailbone, gaze up. So kind of a little similar to cow pose. Now from here, as you exhale, you're going to bend your elbows, keep your butt lifted, and lower your chest down to the earth for extended puppy dog posture. So here you can stay here with your hands on the earth, or you can walk your hands forward, extending the arms out in front of you for full variation. Take a few breaths. Bring your hands to a push-up position, so bring them right next to the chest. Take an inhale, activate your core, and hug the navel in towards the spine. Now, as you exhale, you'll round up into a cat pose. So push firmly into the hands, round your shoulders, tuck the tailbone in, cat. So counteracting that pose. We'll inhale, lengthen our spine, modified plank, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Give yourself a little pedal of the legs here, a little movement of the hips side to side. So really anything that's going to feel good, helping to counteract that posture. When you're ready, we'll take our right leg up towards the sky as we inhale. Flex our foot, pushing back through the heel. So let's have all 5 toes facing the yoga mat. Push down into your hands. And maybe there is an actual wall behind you, and push your foot against the wall. Stay for an inhale. And as you exhale, nice and slow, draw your knee to your nose, shift your weight forward, shoulders come over wrists, take your gaze forward, and quietly step the right foot forward. Release your left knee down to the ground or down to a blanket. And then inhale, sweep the arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And you can interlock your hands up and above the head, tuck your tailbone down and under, lowest rib cage knits in, and reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. So as you tuck the tailbone in, you'll feel a big lighting up of that left hip flexor here, so the top of that left leg. Take your right forearm on top of right thigh, side bend to the right side, so left arm coming over, gaze shifting towards the left side. And then exhale, bringing both hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, twisting to the right side, hooking the elbow outside the knee, gaze coming up. Pushing top hand down into left. Right shoulder drawing back, gaze is up. On your next inhale, shift back to center. Exhale, plant the hands inside of right foot. Heel toe your right foot out to the outside edge of the mat. As you inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift the heart up. Think cow pose here. And then as you exhale, tuck round in, draw chin to chest. Think cat pose here. And we'll do that 2 more rounds. So inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift the heart up. It's okay if these movements are really small. You'll still get the benefit of the posture. Exhale, tuck round in, draw chin to chest. Inhale, heart opens. And exhale, tuck round in, draw chin to chest. Pause here in the cat. Push into the hands, round the shoulders up as much as you can. Think about hugging the belly button up towards your spine without moving the hips. So you want to find an element of surrender into the hips, rounding the shoulders up. Now, as you inhale, peel the chin up from the chest, gaze comes forward, and as you exhale, half split, walk your hands back, right leg straightens. You're going to be on a little bit of a diagonal here. That's okay. Now, walk your hands towards the right side, coming over the right leg. Outside the right leg, excuse me. And you can stay right here today. You can let your elbows bend, or you can come to the pinky toe edge of your right foot. And that may feel a little intense, so take your time. Breathe into it. Try to keep the legs straight and strong. On your next natural inhale, you'll walk your hands back to center, inside that right foot. Bend into your right knee. Come back to that lizard lunge. Curl your right toes under, step your right foot back, high plank pose, and pause in the high plank. Spread your fingers wide, the shoulders are over the wrists. Tailbones tucking under, lowest rib cage is knitting in. Push back through your heels as you lift the kneecaps up. Stay for an inhale. And then as you exhale, lower the body down to the mat. Take your time. Use the knees if you need. Uncurl your toes. Push the tops of the pinky toes into the mat. And then inhale, lift the chest, Bhujangasana. Shoulders drawing back, elbows in. You don't need to go for height here. Go for activation in the lower back. Push the tops of the feet down into the mat. Keep the heart high. Stay for the inhale. And then as you exhale, release down to the earth. One ear comes down. Extend the arms behind you. Bring your hands behind you. Interlock the fingers. Let's go for our non-dominant grip. So outside finger comes in, inside finger comes out. Palms are together. Roll your shoulders up by the ears and let your scapulas travel down your back. So that might make your arms get a little bit straight here. Lift your thumbs off of your bottom, and then on your next inhale, the entire body lifts off the mat. So toes, shins, knees, thighs, chest, shoulders, forehead, chin, and we want to keep our gaze down to elongate the neck. If we look up, we have this tendency to crunch our neck, and that doesn't feel good over time. So you want to keep the gaze down. Think of lengthening the crown of head forward as you push back through the balls of the feet. Spread all 10 toes. Work the back body. Stay for 3 more rounds of breath in and out. After your third exhale, release the grip of the hands. Let the opposite ear come to the mat. Everything falls to the earth. Stay for a few breaths here. Bring your hands to a push-up position. Inhale to a neutral tabletop. And exhale here. So again, shoulders are over your wrists. Your legs are a little bit longer than in neutral tabletop, right? So the pelvis is a little bit downward. Think modified plank here. And as you inhale, you're going to drop your belly down, but tilt your tailbone up. Bring your gaze up. So there is a little bit of an arc in the back. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend your elbows carefully and slowly lower your chest down to the mat. Your butt stays elevated for extended puppy dog posture. So the hands are here to protect the body, but if you do feel safe, you can extend your arms forward, coming into full version of extended puppy dog posture. If you are staying with the hands by the chest, here roll your shoulders back, plug your elbows in, similar to Bhujangasana or Cobra Pose. Think about knitting the lowest rib cage down towards the hip bones. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, firmly push into the hands, round the shoulders up, cat pose. Inhale, coming back to neutral, and exhale, hips going up and back. Downward facing dog. Let's take the left leg up towards the sky. And again, flexing the foot, pushing back through the heel, all 5 toes facing the yoga mat. Keep your chest back. Now, as you exhale, take your gaze forward, draw your knee to your nose, shift your weight forward, shoulders come over wrists, belly rounds. Spine rounds. Gaze forward, quietly step left foot forward, and release your right knee down to the ground. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, both arms sweep to the sky. Fingers interlock, tailbone lengthens down, lowest rib cage comes down. Reach the fingers up towards the ceiling. Left forearm comes on top of left thigh. Right arm comes over the body for a little side bend here, working into psoas, a little bit deeper into the hip flexor. Right shoulder's drawing back, gaze is up. As you exhale, both hands come to heart center. In prayer position, take an inhale. And as you exhale, twisting to your left side, hooking the right elbow outside the left knee. And the key here is to push your left hand down into right to really aid in that twist. Keep pushing the knee outward towards the elbow, keeping the body strong. Stay with your breathing. The inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, plants the hands inside of left foot. You can heel toe your foot out a little bit if you need to. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, shoulders roll back, think cow pose. And as you exhale, tuck round in, draw chin to chest, think cat pose. And it's okay if it's just your head moving in these cat cows. Inhale, shoulders back, lift the heart. And exhale, tuck round in. You'll still get the benefit, even if it's just the head or your gaze moving. Inhale, draw your shoulders back, last round, look up. And exhale, tuck round in, draw chin to chest. Cat, and we'll hang out in the cat for a few moments. Inhale, peel the chin up from the chest. And as you exhale, half split, pull your hips back, straightening left leg. And you can stay here, or you can walk your hands over to the left side, hands outside the leg, and you can stay here, or let your left pinky toes fall to the earth. Now, as you inhale, walk your hands back to center. Bring them inside of left foot. Walk your hands forward. Lizard lunge. Stay for the inhale. As you exhale, step your left foot back, high plank pose, and pause. This time, bringing feet about hip width distance apart, shoulders come over the wrists. Stay for the inhale here. As you exhale, swivel your heels to the right side and inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling for Vashisthasana, side plank pose. Squeeze your right hip up. Push into that right hand. Stay for one more breath. And out. Bring the left hand to the earth, heels to the center, and then heels to the left. Same, other side. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Both feet are on the earth. Squeeze the left hip up. Hug the belly button towards the spine. Breathe. Try to use your fingertips on the ground here. Good. Bring your right hand down to the earth. High plank, inhale. And downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. Exhale. Few breaths in. And let it go, side out. Lift the right leg up towards the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Try to keep your right shoulder grounded down to the earth. And then as you exhale, nice and slow, draw knee to nose. Take your gaze forward, quietly step the right foot forward and come to your warrior two. So back heel is going to come to the ground and we'll cartwheel both hands open. And we'll find a few shoulder rolls here, back and forward. And then pause, right knee stacked over the ankle, moving outward towards the pinky toe, squeezing the heel of the front foot with the arch of the back foot. As you inhale, reverse triangle, straighten the right leg, lift the right arm up to the ceiling first, and then bend at the elbow, bringing right hand between your scapulas. You have two options here. You can bring your left hand to the top of the right elbow and push down as you pull back, or you can take full Gomukhasana arms, so left hand coming underneath, reaching for the fingertips of right, and finding a little clasp here. Both are good, both do the same thing, more or less. I'm going to pull your elbow back, really open through the side body, maybe even a little tuck of your tailbone under. Could go a long way here. Release your right arm, bring it out in front of you. Release the left arm, extend it behind you. Reach the right fingertips forward, 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 prepping for triangle pose. Right hand comes to the earth, left arm comes high. Utthita Trikonasana triangle. Take your left arm over the head, bicep is with the ear. Reach the left fingertips forward as you push into the outside edge of your left foot. And simultaneous action, push into the toe mound of your right. And inhale for a reverse warrior. So you'll bend your right knee, lift the right arm up towards the sky. If you want, you can wrap the left hand behind the back. As you reach behind you for the back of the mat, right knee stacked over the ankle, moving towards the pinky toe. And next, exhale, Ardha Chandrasana, floating half moon pose. So release whatever bind you may have. Right hand's going to tick-tock down, left arm's going to come up. You're going to launch the weight into your right foot as you lift left leg off of the ground. Keep your body on this side plane motion, balancing on the right foot. Left leg is lifting up as right fingertips come down. So we don't need to touch the ground here. we just want our body to be really solid, really stable, really strong. Finding a teetering action. So this balancing act, right? Of strength, mobility, flexibility. A soft bend into your right knee, set the left foot to the back of the mat, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, lift the right arm to the sky. And then as we exhale, we're going to cartwheel both hands down to the earth. Step back to a high plank. Stay for an inhale. Heels to the left side, exhale. Inhale, right arm to the sky, Vashisthasana. Side plank. And when you're ready, switch. Right hand comes down, heels swivel up and all the way over to the right. Left arm sweeps to the sky. And when you're ready, left hand comes down. Stay for an inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, left leg reaches high. Bend your knee, open your hip. Try to keep that left armpit down towards the earth. And we just do that to maintain engagement of our core so our spine doesn't get super, super contracted here. As you exhale, close off your hip, draw your knee to your nose. Shift your gaze forward and quietly step that left foot forward. Back heel comes to the earth. Inhale, warrior two. Arms come wide. Track your knee outward toward your pinky toe. That'll help activate the glute medius. See if you can tuck your tailbone a little bit under, lowest rib cage in, and then extend the arms out. Extend, extend, extend. Inhale, reverse triangle. So straighten left leg, lift the left arm up. So you kind of look like the middle part of a peace sign here. And then you're going to bend your left elbow. Hand comes between the scapulas. And you can take your right hand to the elbow and push down as you pull back, or right arm's going to come underneath and you'll clasp onto fingers for Gomukhasana, cow face arms. Now be patient with your body. Each side of the body may feel a little different. That's okay. We'll start to move into a tucked tailbone and then the arm pulling back. Good. Start to release the left arm, extend it in front of you. Right arm's going to reach behind you, and then we start to reach forward for triangle. Utthita Trikonasana. Reach, reach, reach. Left hand's going to come inside the foot. Right arm comes up to the sky. So at first, our hands are at 6 and 12. Push into the toe mound or the big toe of the left foot. Anchor into the outside edge of the right foot, and then start to reach your right arm over the head. So this gets a little bit deeper into your lateral body, into the rib cage, into the hip. Start to bend your left knee, moving into a reverse warrior. So left knee bends, inhale, left arm up to the sky. And option here to bind the right arm behind the back. Now, as we exhale, we move into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So we release the bind, tick-tock the left arm down. Launch into left foot as right leg lifts off. Keep your body open towards the right side. Move slowly here. So as left arm comes down, right leg lifts. You don't need to touch the ground. You're still working the strength of the body, strength of the ankle, strength of your leg. And if we fall, it's okay. We come back. We just get right back into the pose. We'll start to move into our warrior two. So bending into left knee, reach right leg way far behind you. Landing softly, readjusting if we don't, that's okay. Inhale, reverse warrior, lift the left arm up to the sky. And as we exhale, we'll cartwheel both hands down to the earth. Step back to a high plank, bring your feet hip width distance apart, take an inhale. Heel swivel to the right side, exhale. And inhale, sweep the left arm to the sky. Vashisthasana, last one. Exhale, left hands to the earth. Inhale, right heels lift up. Exhale, heels to the left. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Vashisthasana, side plank. And again, last side, best side. I promise. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Stay for an inhale in your high plank. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. A few breaths here. And then when you're ready, bring your knees to the earth. Open them wide. Big toes together to kiss. Come into a child's pose. Sink the hips back on the heels. Extend the arms forward. Forehead down to the mat. Start to walk your hands back, lift your heart up. Shift your hips to the left and extend your legs in front of you. If you're down at the back of the mat, scrape your hips probably towards the middle of the mat. Let's take one quick Navasana. So a couple options here is, first is we want to bring our hands behind the back of the legs and lift your spine up as tall as you can. You're going to lean back so your hands are gripping onto the legs. Lean back enough so that your legs start to teeter-totter up. So we're still working this balance, right? Where one goes back, one lifts up, one pulls, the other pushes, right? So here you're leaning back as your legs pull back and you're finding a little hover above the ground. And this is a great place to be to work on your balance. You can also extend one arm forward, keeping that one leg solid by itself. You can replace the hand, extend the other arm, working the strength of the opposite leg, or you can extend both arms forward. Bring the bottom of the feet together, knees open wide. Lean a little bit forward, bring your feet to the earth. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, lean forward, coming into a forward fold. Bring the hands down, Baddha Konasana. Forehead comes down. If you want a little extra, you can squeeze your heels in towards each other, creating a little bit of an energy lock. As you inhale, walk your hands back, lift the heart up. With the help of your hands, bring your knees in towards each other. Feet flat to the earth, legs hip width. Extend the arms forward and come onto your backside. Setting up for bridge pose. Walk your feet back so the ankles are below the knees. And before we stretch out the back, we just want a little bit of activation here. Just a tiny bit. So feet flat to the earth, palms face down to the ground. As you inhale, lift your bottom up. Tuck your tailbone down and under, lowest rib cage knits in. And you can stay here, hands flat to the earth, or you can interlock your hands underneath your sacrum as you wiggle your shoulders in towards each other. Now push your pinky fingers down to the mat. It's going to give you a little bit more lift in the hips. Dig the heels down as the knees go forward. That's going to activate your hamstrings, and we breathe, of course. And release the grip of the hands first. Don't wiggle the shoulders out. Lower the hips down. Let the hips touch the earth and then bring your shoulders out. And take a moment to relax. Let the full body pause in stillness. And we'll take one more round of that. If you do want to take full wheel, you're more than welcome to today. Otherwise, we'll take a second set of bridge pose. So realign the feet if they did come out. So ankles below, knees, toes point forward, palms face the earth. On your next inhalation, push into the feet, lift the hips up, interlock the hands below the sacrum, and then gently wiggle the shoulders in towards each other, a little pinch of the scapulas. Push your pinky fingers down into the mat as the hips elevate, tailbone tucks, lowest rib cage knits down and in. Heels push down, drag back, knees get sent forward. You're going to feel a different sensation if you do that. And we breathe. Release the grip of the hands. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, slowly lower the hips down to the earth. When they arrive, the shoulders wiggle out. The knees come together and heel toe your feet towards the outside edge of the mat. Arms come out to a capital T and we windshield wiper our legs left and right. And this will help remove any compression from your SI joint. It's a gentle release here. Start to bring your knees towards your chest. And the same sort of wiggle, wiggle. And set your left foot down on the ground for a moment. Right ankle is going to cross over left knee for figure four. As you inhale, you're going to draw your left knee in towards your chest. Interlock the hands behind the back of left knee. And flexing the right foot here to protect your knee. You can push your right knee away with the help of the elbow. And then if you notice your knees may fall to the right side here, you're going to want to drift them back to center, and that'll help align your pelvis, which will further the stretch for your own body. Start to gently release. Left foot comes to the earth. Right foot comes to the earth. And then we switch. Left ankle crosses over the knee. And we inhale, draw right knee into the chest. Interlock the hands behind the back of the knee. And allow your left elbow to push left knee away. And again, if the knees are shifting to the left side, gently draw them back to center, and for a moment, notice what that does, right? So these subtle movements, these subtle awareness shifts can have profound effects inside of our body. And start to gently release. Bring your knees together, feet move to the outside edges of the mat, and a gentle windshield wiper of your legs left and right. Hug your knees in towards your chest, and you'll massage your spine up and down, and then gain enough momentum coming up to a seat for our final set of postures. So we'll start with our right foot in towards the inside of the thigh, left leg extends forward. Think like tree pose on your legs. And then you're going to take that left leg and bring it out to a 45-degree angle. Okay. Sit up nice and tall, inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist to your left side, so towards that left leg. And then start to walk your hands forward. Take your right hand, place it outside of your left foot or your ankle or your shin, or if you have a strap nearby, you can bring the strap into your hand and loop the foot. And then you're going to take your left hand and aid in the twist towards your left. So you're going to push into the fingers and work towards that twist. And breathe. So to release the grip of your foot or your shin, inhale, tall spine, walk your hands back. Exhale, twist to the right side for a little counter twist. So left hand comes outside right knee, right hand comes behind us, and we move into that little twist. Come back to center, switch out the legs. So right leg's going to extend down to 45, left foot's going to come in towards the pelvis. Flexing the right foot, tall spine, inhale. Twist to the right side, exhale. Stay for an inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly start to walk forward. Reach for the outside edge of your foot, ankle, or shin with the left hand. Right hand moves your body to the right side. See if you can start to bring your chest down parallel to the earth as you use the bicep strength to pull you closer. So you can think of your left shoulder moving on a line, a diagonal line towards your left pinky toe. So if you have to, you can draw that image, that line inside your mind. Draw the image from left shoulder to left pinky toe. And as you inhale, you're going to pick your chest up, release the foot, come back through center, tall spine, and then exhale, twist to the left side, right hand comes outside left knee, and left hand comes behind the body. Inhale, coming back to center, extending both legs out in front of you, leaning back onto the hands, and you can take a few movements in the legs. Our final posture today is going to be legs up the wall. So find a wall space near you where you can come into the fetal position first and bring your bottom as close to the wall as possible. So we're in the fetal position. You can use a hand as a bicep, or use a hand as a bicep. Use your bicep as a pillow. And scoot your butt in really close to the wall. And then you're going to flip onto your back and bring your feet up the wall. And if you feel a big gap between lower back and ground, You can slide a blanket or a pillow, a soft pillow, underneath your hips to help bring the ground a little bit closer to you. You can also bring your hips a little bit away from the wall so that the legs are more on a diagonal. And when you find a position that's comfortable for you, you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, or you can bring both palms to face up next to the hips. And we'll be here for some time, so just let your eyes close. Focus on your breathing. And at first, you may notice a tingling sensation in your toes, which may turn into a throbbing sensation in your ankles or your shins. And what you're experiencing is your blood flow moving in a new direction. So all day, our energy is being pushed down to our feet. We live, we walk, we stand in one direction, head on the top, feet on the ground. But today we've learned that every movement has an opposite direction. So when we push, we pull. When we expand, we also contract. Without the heaviness, there would not be light. And so same here. We are having the opportunity to allow our body to move in a different direction, to have our energy flow differently from our feet to our minds. And so this allows us to change our perspective. Not just in this moment, not just in this yoga pose, but it's a gentle reminder to allow our perspective to be ever changing, to be fluid, to be mobile. Because it's through rigidity that we find ourselves in trouble. When we think that things should be a certain way, we get upset when they aren't that way. But what if every action that we do has a direct opposite reaction? And what if that is a better choice for us? That opposite side. So as we come here, we give ourselves that chance, that opportunity to change our perspective, to see something brand new. Take about 3 more deep rounds of breath here. And then start to allow your breath to return back to its natural rhythm. As we start to drift into a space of ultimate surrender, ultimate peace, allowing things to just be as they are in the moment. We drift into the space of Shavasana. Enjoy. begin to find a deeper breath. Give your toes a little wiggle. And then carefully allow your heels to slide down the wall, knees come to the chest. And carefully turn to one side, utilizing the bicep like a pillow. At your own speed, we'll push into our free hand, rising up to a seated position. Maintaining the eyes closed. And we'll invite our hands to heart center, honoring all the feelings, all the emotions, all the aspects of us, all the big moments, all the small moments, all the expansive and contracted, all of the black and all of the whites, all of the strong moments and all of the not so strong moments. Together, we'll take one last breath in through our nose and invite a soft sigh through the mouth out. Om Shanti. Bringing our thumbs to our third eye, we allow our forehead to bow down, offering gratitude to the practice of yoga, gratitude to those around us, those within us, and gratitude to ourselves. Thank you for being here today. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. If any questions, comments, or concerns come up, please feel free to reach out. feelgoodyoga@gmail.com. We do have a new class on Friday starting, an express cardio and core class, which will only be 30 minutes. And so if you can't make the live version, it's okay. We're going to start to build that library of express classes. So anyway, feel free to reach out. Thank you again, and I will see you next time you make it to your mat.